Hi guys, welcome to our live session with DogSpot. My name is Karan Vaid. I am an office manager at DogSpot. We have a very special guest today, a little out of left field. We have Riticka Uberoi here, who is an animal communicator. She's also a numerologist and a baker. Hi, Riticka. It's very nice to have you. Hi, Slowly.
Hi, Karan.
Good to have you with us. Can you tell us a little bit about what exactly is an animal communicator?
Okay. So an animal communicator, to simplify it, is a telepathic animal communication.
Okay.
So what is telepathic animal communication? What is telepathy? If we split into two, tele means long distance.
Okay.
And pathy comes from pathos. It's a Greek word that is emotions. So we are getting long distance information from the person who we are having a communication with, or the animal. Over here we are talking about animal, right? So we're getting a long distance information from the animal through visuals, images, colors, and all metaphors. There's a lot of things that happens. We get in our mind and we pass on to the owner, whatever information they are sending us.
Okay, so tell me,
communication.
And you, hi Shruti. Shruti is one of your clients.
Hi Shruti.
We're very happy to have Shruti with us. Tell me, Riticka, how does one get into this? Hi Lokesh.
See, I did my basic course 2 years back from Earthwise.
Earthwise
is
Go ahead. Yeah, what is
Manjari Latte is the founder. Earthwise is the Manjari Latte is the founder of Earthwise, right? And she is into animal communication. She teaches animal communication as well. She does it.
Okay.
Right? So I did my basic course 2 years back in Mumbai. I went to my brother's house, and over there I got to know that she's taking classes. And I was very lucky enough that I was there for because she's from Pune. Okay.
Yes.
So she keeps taking classes all over the world, right?
Okay.
So at that point of time, I was very lucky that she was taking classes there. So so over there, I went there for 2 days. It's a 2 days class for the basic course.
Okay.
So I was very lucky enough to have learned this animal communication from Manjari. And she's my mentor.
Manjari is very highly in demand. We have actually, it's a surprise for you, Riticka. We've had a chat with her. She's very proud of you also.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a chat with Manjari, and she will also be live with us soon. But she was very happy that we were very happy that we were able to have you with us, because you and I have had a chat before, obviously, and we have been speaking over the last 1 week, and you have been able to help out a lot of people with their query. Guys, who is that? Who is that? That's Magic.
This is Magic.
Oh wow! Can you tell us a bit more about
my life? We'll talk about him. He's getting a little fidgety. Maybe you want to go. Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the course, so you did a basic course 2 years ago, and then you did mention that you did a advanced level course recently.
Yeah, I did my advanced recently in December, and after that, I'm taking it professionally. So it's been 6 months now. Yeah.
It's been 6 months since you did this course. So it's been so how long you been doing this for? Like two plus years now?
2.5 years. Yeah, 2.5 years exactly.
And how did you start off? Why did you get into this? And what attracted you to doing this?
See, I don't come from a background where animals were appreciated, because my maternal grandfather, that is my Nanaji, was bitten by a dog and he died because of rabies.
Oh, okay.
So we all had a lot of fear regarding dogs. So I was not an animal lover. I was not a dog lover exactly.
Okay.
And then we grew up like that, and I was never very fond of having a dog in the house. So my brother, he stays in Bombay. Okay. So he's in Mumbai, and we used to go to visit him.
Okay.
I don't know how he wanted to have a dog. So he kept a Shih Tzu named Majnu. And we used to visit it very often. So when I went there and I had to live with Majnu, that was not because of any choice, but by chance. I had to stay with Majnu. So when I stayed with Majnu, he used to really sleep in my room. He used to be around me. So at that point of I realized that, what we think about animals, they are not like that. They're much more evolved, and they are much more loving. So that's the time I got attached to Majnu, and when I came back, I started missing Majnu. So I thought, why not keep it all for myself? And I also kept the same breed. He's also Shih Tzu. And I got him, and I kept his name Magic. And, Magic just turned my life. he created a magical environment, in my life. And he made me, go out of my comfort zone to do a lot of things which I'm doing now, which I never thought I will do. And how I went into animal communication, because I used to leave Magic here, and I kept a whole family to be with him when I was away. Okay. And we used to go to Bombay. I could not take him along. So I used to go to Bombay, and I thought that, I was very inquisitive to know how he is being kept. So I searched, I knew about animal communication, but I didn't know that it exists in India also. Abroad, people are doing it a long way, right? And we are just very new to animal communication here. So I searched in the internet, and I got to know about Manjari. And as I told you, I was very lucky enough that at about that point of time, she was taking these classes in Bombay. And when I just wanted to know how he's being kept, because they were in front of me, they were keeping him really well. They used to feed him with hands. They used to feed him very nicely. They used to groom him. My helpers. I kept a whole family. Okay, but when I went for this class, and we were paired, together. Like we were paired, like two of the partners were paired together, and we had to communicate with each other's animals. My partner told me that all the students, like my partner, like all the students who were there to learn, by mid of the afternoon, when we learned about the technique, right? It's there in every one of us. It's nothing new. It's just like we are not aware of it. Okay. So when we started communicating. So I just asked her that, how is Magic doing? And she told me that Magic, he tells me, why do you leave me so much? B, if you leave me, I know you have to go and you can't take me. Why have you kept these people for me? Because they're not actually taking care of me. And I was really taken aback. I was like, that they are so nice, right? And and he said that they tie me and they've beaten me also. So I didn't actually, So I was a little taken aback. I thought maybe she's not getting it right. She's very new to the world, so maybe she's not getting it right. Okay. I came back, and when I came back, as it was meant to be, I got to know that he was bitten. He was not kept well, and they had beaten him. So that time I realized that this actually works. And then I started believing in it, because it takes time, to trust yourself and others, because it's, for every single thing we need proofs. We need validation. This is how we are conditioned. Okay. Something beyond that, we don't believe it that easily. But here, when I got a proof, I actually started believing that there is something called animal communication. And I started having communication with Magic and other animals also. So this is how I got into it, and I went for my advanced thing.
Just quickly to answer a question, Sandeep Athaya is asking, you already alluded to this before. Does it involve telepathy? Sandeep came in a bit late. So
it is all telepathic communication. Yeah.
It's all telepathic communication. So can you take us through the process of how exactly you develop this, and even without giving too much away, because obviously somebody has to take the course, and Manjari is one of the better teachers out there.
Best one, I think best.
Absolutely. So can you take us a bit more about how does one go about doing something like this, even if you wanted to practice it at home?
See, we all have gut feelings, right?
Yes, you're right.
We are aware of it, or if we are not aware of it, we have it. So that gut feeling is never wrong. Okay. So whatever your gut says, you have to follow it. And with the animal, it is as simple as having a conversation with a human being. It's just like we have to become a very hollow bone. We have to be very neutral. Okay. We have to be very egoless. We have to calm our minds down. What happens is energy flows where your intention goes.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So if you have the intention of talking to an animal and they are ready, they are ready to talk to you. It's just like you have to be more aware and just calm yourself and put up a question to the animal, and whatever you receive through the images, like I get a lot of images, right? And I get a lot of visuals. So whatever you receive is the message they're giving us. So you have to be the receiver. You have to be a hollow bone, as Manjari says. You have to be a very, you have to be just a
like
clear medium, right?
an empty vessel which has to absorb
just
all
receive whatever you're getting without doubting yourself and the animal.
That's very interesting. For someone, especially in light of the given situation where we spend, a lot of us are in lockdown, we're coming out of the lockdown right now. Hopefully, everybody out there is safe and doing well. Hopefully, you're doing well over there, and it's not. And you are in Dehradun, I believe.
I'm from Dehradun.
Apologies for not mentioning it before.
That's fine.
I'll ask this question again later. But this has given us a lot of time to introspect. And a lot of our audience members, we have a lot of them who are really appreciating you. Mehnaz is saying this, as rightly said, we have to be grounded first. I remember Mehnaz may be an animal communicator as well. I may be mistaken. But tell me, does meditation help? Does introspection help before in achieving these qualities?
Meditation does help because you need to calm down your mind. Because if your mind is shutting, then there's no point. You will only see and hear what you are just imitating, right? You need to calm your mind and you need to trust yourself. It's not a very long process that we have to do this or this. No, it's very simple and we are doing it already. It's just that we are not aware of it. We are telepathically talking. See what happens when we remember somebody and somebody calls up, right? And you say, oh, wow, you know what? I was remembering you and you called up. There is no coincidence in that. We were remembering the energy when there. They thought about us and they called back. So we are already doing that. But we are not aware of it. It's just like Manjari makes you aware of it, that you are, doing this and how to go about it. And I think everybody should do this who have animals.
I completely agree. You and I have had a session before. As guys, for most of our audience members over here, I'm always been a skeptic, but I like to give it an opportunity. And we gave Riticka an opportunity to talk to Pasha, my dog, and she was able to give us some insights about Pasha. And I think we won't get into too much about what she told us. But that will lead me to my next question is like suppose people have a question about their dogs. How does one go about, let's say someone contacts you and says, Riticka, look here, here's my dog. I want to know X something about them. So how does the process start? Or what do you ask them?
You can send me a mail in which I need a dog's picture and his name and the family members staying with. Okay. Even the help, because we need to know from the dog how they are being treated. Okay. And whatever questions you want to ask, like I charge 1,000 rupees for 6 questions, right? So
1,000 rupees 6 questions.
For 6 questions, right? And for lost and found case, it's 1,500. For lost and found case.
Let's keep that. I'll ask you more questions about lost and found cases in a bit. Right. But let's focus a little bit on and your email is here, Uberoi at
hotmail.com.
Yeah, so guys, this is the email. Please send her messages or send her an email and set up an appointment with Riticka. She also has a Facebook page which has a lot of which she's going to be setting up because she started this right now and she hasn't been able to make one yet, but because she's very busy with all her requests. As you had alluded to before, most of your business is coming because of word of mouth.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Yeah, so but people can reach you on this email and they can send their queries. Coming back to what you said, so someone has to send in a photo of their dog
with the name,
with their name, with name of the dog, along with all the family members and even staff.
Yeah, staff that is very important.
That the people who make up the household.
Right, you're staying with them.
And what kind of questions do people usually ask you?
Mostly what I have got is behavioral issues and health issues. These and what they like, what they don't like, the food changes, okay, all these things. And what I have got answers from the animal, what I've seen that 80 to 90% the behavior is because of the human being, not the animal. They're actually mirroring the human being for the human being to change.
Okay.
And especially and with the health issues, either they're taking on, or maybe it's their own. So we have to ask the animal about it, right? So this is how we go about it. Yeah.
So I
So
think
these are the question, mainly questions they ask.
That answers Mehnaz's question on how do they communicate. So one way is that they sometimes mirroring, and that's an actual physical communication medium that they're actually mirroring you. Can you just expand on what you mean by mirroring the human being or their?
Yeah, there are at times. Yeah, I got a case where the dog had arthritis. Okay, he could not move, and when I asked him, I had a communication with him. He told me that the lady of the house has the same problem. Okay, and he was mirroring her because she was, and why she had arthritis, because she was too rigid in her thoughts. She was not flexible with anything.
Okay.
Right? And this is what the dog told me. I had no idea about the lady, how she was doing and whatever. So when I asked the owner, so they agreed that yes, she had some bones problem, and he was mirroring her for her to change. When she will change her thoughts and be more flexible towards life, the problem will be solved. So they start mirroring. There was one more case where the dog was very aggressive, and I asked, why are you so aggressive? So he said, because my family members are very aggressive. So how, if they want me to change, they have to change themselves also. Because I am teaching them that it's not good to be that aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So at times it's mirroring you.
So I'm gonna let other people be privy. Pasha, just hold on. Pasha will bark right now because he has to go for his walk right now. He hasn't. He's behaving well. He doesn't want to go. But speaking of my pet, guys, my pet Pasha likes to bark a lot, and that's a question that I put to Riticka. And Riticka said she came back with this observation that someone in your house talks a lot. Is it your wife? And my wife got really upset because she doesn't speak that much. It's mostly me. I'm the guy who always is completely talking all the time. So according to Riticka, it was Pasha told her that because everyone else is talking, I also decided to talk. Yeah. So they mirror it. So that's a very interesting observation. And that's true because I talk a lot. Mehnaz has put another question, which is quite interesting. Yeah. Is can we communicate with our pets who have passed away?
Oh yes, because everything is energy. Okay, everything is vibration. So you tap into that vibration, right? So you can talk to animals who have passed away, and we also do.
Yeah. So can you talk about some of your? I mean, how does, let's say if someone has passed away, how do you? What kind of questions do people usually ask you? And what can you talk about any particular notable case of yours when
mostly people want to know that if they're coming back to their lives again or not. So we have a lot of questions regarding that, and there are questions where people are more concerned about asking something about their future, which I don't recommend them to do because they are not astrologers. I know that animals know a lot about future, about your future, and they can look into the future. But we don't encourage people to ask about, because it drifts the path. You are more concerned about your life and more rather than the animal's life. So we don't take that questions, right? But yes, we can surely, if it's related to the animal, if it's coming back or not, and if he's taken birth again, we can ask such questions from the people, from the animal who's passed away.
Okay, and and that leads me to my next question. What kind of are there some things that you don't ask the animal?
Yeah.
Are there some? Can you talk a little bit about that also?
I just talked about the future questions. We don't encourage people to, because they are more concerned. I have got a lot of cases where people want to know when their daughter is getting married, or when they'll get a new business, or when please ask the dog that, when will my son get married, and when will my daughter have a son or a daughter, or if the daughter-in-law is pregnant, is it a boy or is it a girl? So I get very taken away that we are here to communicate about the animal, not telling you about. They're not astrologers, right? They're not fortune tellers. So I don't encourage such questions, nor I answer it.
Oh, wow.
Because I've got a lot of questions like that. Yeah.
Shivangi Shukla has asked, are there ever animals that you can't communicate with? And if so, whatever the reason, for any reason, have there been cases that you haven't been able to communicate with an animal?
No, touch wood till now. It hasn't happened.
Are there animals which, so let me dwell further into that question. I mean, sometimes an animal doesn't have a lot to say, like, sometimes.
See, like human beings, some are very talkative, some are little reserved, but they are always giving you a reply. It's not that they never give you a reply. If you're not getting a message from an animal, it's not the animal who's not replying, it's you. Maybe you're not that aligned that time, or maybe your thought is so blocked that you don't want to receive the message. Animal is always replying. Maybe they're not exaggerated. There have been animals who talk a lot. There have been animals who've shown me their house also. They come, let me show you my house, and this is my stair, and this is my favorite spot, and this is the temple in the house. Because there was a lady, she was, I still remember, she was very much into a superstition, okay? And she asked me, there's a lot of black magic happening in the house. So please, can you ask the animal? So I had a word with him, and he told me that she's very, very apprehensive and she's very superstitious. And let me show you the mandir we have. So, and she was, I had no idea about that till that time. She used to follow Durga Mata, and they had a beautiful mandir in the house. So he showed me the image and he said, when Ma is there, why is she believing so much in black magic? And I asked her, I said, do you believe in Ma? You have a mandir in the house. And she agreed to that. So, there are times when they do talk. But
you have to be very careful, guys, because
they let you know.
Open up, depends. I should be careful with Pasha because Pasha likes to talk and all our secrets will be out. So
no, they will only tell what is meant to be told. Nothing more than that.
But I enjoyed that. Shruti has asked another question, which is I don't know, we're leading up to anyway. So, is it only dogs that talk, or are there other animals that you have been able, including cats?
Every animal, cats. I had a wonderful communication with the tortoise. I told you, I think, that day.
Yeah, you did tell me. Yeah. So, can you? How did that go?
I got a case, from somebody who the tortoise fell down, and he had some issues with the leg. He could not move.
Okay.
So the client, the owner or the pet parent, called me up and he said, "Can you have a conversation with the tortoise?" So I was like, "Okay." So when I had started the conversation, and he said, "I cannot feel anything in my leg. It's not paining, but I cannot feel. I cannot move it." So I said, we can ask some guidance from the animal also. So I said, please guide me what you want further. And it was during the lockdown. So he said, I will try, but I will see if I can move the leg or not. And he showed me, he was also very, talkative kind of a animal. And he showed me where he stayed. So he showed me the window with a wooden panel and a painting ahead. So something blue. So I asked that, what is something blue up there? So he said, there's a painting which I really like, and I stay there, and I have a girlfriend named Chutki. His name was Bablet, and he had a girlfriend whose name was Chutki. So they were like pair, okay? And he told me that Chutki is really, motivating me, and she keeps inspiring me to move. And after a while, I just conveyed all this, and they agreed that they had a window panel where he stayed with the blue painting on the top. Okay.
Yeah.
And after 2-3 days, they called me up and they said that he started moving because, as he told, that Chutki is really motivating him to move his leg. And so this is how every animal, I had a communication with a snake who came to my place in this lockdown because I stay in Dehradun. There's a lot of greenery around. Yeah. So the snake came over, and it was a big, huge snake, which I didn't see, but whatever the family told me. So I had a communication, and he told me, don't worry, I'm not here to harm you. So I told him, I said, we are also not here to harm you. please go from there and, don't harm us. We'll not harm you. So he said, I'm not here to harm. And since then, I have not seen him here around.
So, I honestly, as you know, I'll put in my 2 bits. I did tell you about when I kind of rescued a snake in 2017. And then I have a fantastic video of it, and I'll play it for you guys one day, where my wife and I were watching television. A month later, this was in September of 2016, and then the snake was looking at me from the side of the window. It's huge snake. It was a rat snake, which are completely non-venomous. They can bite you, but I saw the same snake because it lives in your neighborhood, lives in your area, and I lived in a nature reserve close to one. And he saw me, he looked at me, and then he went away. It could just be random, but I kind of like to believe that he was coming and thanking me. My wife rolls her eyes at me, but I think that's what he was doing. I have a beautiful video, and I'll send that to you, Riticka, when you have the time, and you can tell me.
For sure, I would love to see. Yeah,
we have a lot of questions.
I'm dead sure. Yeah.
We have a lot of questions coming in, and we'll keep going with this conversation. Shreya has been asking, Shreya Bhatia, another friend of ours, is asking, and she's a friend of, I believe, Shruti as well. Her dog has a lot of insecurities, and he stays with all the time. Hold on, I think she needs to rephrase this. But when I'm out, but whenever she's out and I come back home, he just doesn't greet me happily. With every other family member. I think why does he have so many insecurities, and whenever they come out, he's not too happy to see the pet parents. I guess that's what
First, I have to have a conversation with him. I cannot say it like that. But what I have seen, at times they have insecurities because the human has a lot of insecurity. It's not, see, again, mirroring.
Okay. Has clarified that I think Shreya is saying that he has a lot of attachment, or he is very happy to see the rest of the family members, but only when Shreya comes back, he's not that happy to see her. I think there are larger issues at play over here. So I think, Shreya, what you have to do is that you have to contact Riticka directly, and because I know you, I know your dog, and we've had longer conversations about this as well. And as Shruti has told you that Riticka has been able to help her out. So do contact Riticka, and maybe she can give you some insights that we haven't been able to give yet. And that's the reason that Riticka is up here, so to answer questions that we usually don't get, or we usually are in a bit of a quandary to answer. We have some more questions. We have Vignesh, who's talked about, based on your experience, are cats really mean? Cats really mean like they behave? I don't understand. What Vignesh, you might have to expand on that question. Cats really mean like they behave? I don't know. But let's go ahead, because some of your practices, they probably elicit a lot of criticism. Because especially as we have moved forward, we've had over 50 live sessions. We've had some of the top nutritionists, the top dog trainers. We had Adnan. We had a lot of other people who believe in very scientific methods which can be proven. A lot of people would, and it was a bit of a risk for us to have someone of your practice.
Yeah, I understand.
But I really believe that we need people with different voices in our platform. We're very happy to have you. Can you talk about? No. Can you talk a little bit about the criticisms that you face, and how do you go about dealing with that?
Initially, when I started, Karan, people said, people fool you and you get fooled. How can something like this exist, right?
Yeah.
And even now, when I'm doing it, people still think I'm fooling others because I got fooled. So it is like that, okay? And it's okay. I think we are not here to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
After, when they get a lot of validation, because I said, as humans, we are conditioned for everything we need proof. If it's happening, proof dikhao. Something which is beyond measurable, which is beyond, we don't believe in that. Something which cannot be measured, we don't believe in that. Okay. So here, we are not here to prove anything to anyone. If somebody believes. That's fine. If somebody does it, I think it's not their time to believe right now. When they have to walk that path, when the time comes, they will. If not, it's okay with us. So we don't take, it's okay. We are here to help animals. We are here to be their voice. So our main purpose is to be helping them, not the humans. And humans are more, complicated. So we just, who have to believe, who have to cross that path will do. Who doesn't, it's okay. So
I think
it's fine.
In terms of superstition and religion and theology,
yeah,
there's a lot that is going on. We are a country which is has a lot of different religions, and we're known as a country which supports different religions. And you have to have a little bit of belief, these are practices which are being developed right now. Manjari is right at the forefront of it in India, and Riticka is here. And I guess this is a great opportunity for all of our audience members to have an open mind about this and to learn and to put forth questions, contact Riticka directly, and she'll be able to help you guys out. At least you'll have a difference or you'll have another opinion which you may not have considered, and that's something that is always important. Coming back to a question, Mayank had put forth that his cat is always afraid and is hiding most of the time. She has been with us for 2 years, and she talks with us a lot around mealtime, but still is hiding most of the time. Would you have any suggestions in your experience if something like this has happened before?
Hiding, I need to know what the issue is while talking to the animal. I cannot just randomly say anything right now. I would justify that.
Yeah, so and rightfully so, Riticka, that you said, because different animals have different
perceptions,
insecurities, ideas, what have you. And for everybody who's asking questions, we tried to do this. I understand what you guys are doing. And please ask us very general questions. If you guys are going to ask us very specific questions, then it'll behoove you to actually contact Riticka directly, because every
animal has a different story.
Exactly. So that's why we thought about doing a live session where we would open this up for individual questions, but Riticka correctly told us that she needs to spend a little bit of time with more information, with the photograph of the dog, with what have you, with all the information before she can give you a meaningful and correct answer to the best of her abilities. And I thought that makes a lot of sense. So guys, please go ahead and contact Riticka, and she'll be able to help you guys out in that. We still okay. Mehnaz has asked a very interesting question. She's asked, thank you for all your questions, Mehnaz. She's asking, do animals lie while communicating?
No, I have never come across anybody who's lying. Never.
My dog, I think, is a master manipulator. Let me put this in a different way. He's with us. He's sitting here right now. You can't see him, but because I'm on the laptop, I can't turn it around. Yeah. He's looking at me and he is having a great laugh. I'm not kidding. But he's one of the master manipulators, and he pretends to has their attention somewhere else, and he goes and. I have never seen a dog which can open doors, which are basically with a handle. He opens them, goes to the fridge, opens the fridge, takes out pieces of pizza, and he won't do it immediately. He'll go and do it very slyly. He's eaten cakes off tables, and while we are having a conversation, he'll pretend that he's not interested and suddenly go and take it. So maybe we can we can have that question, look at that question in a different way. They're not lying, but can they be manipulating?
They can be smart, they can be street smart. That I'll put it that way, but they will not lie. And they will give you information, and like to us also, they're very, very evolved. So they will give only information which is required. They will not give information which is not required. And I won't say that they are lying. I'll say they'll be very assured of what they're saying, right? They'll be giving the information which is meant to be. Otherwise, they won't speak anything else.
Yeah, you're right. I think every animal, as you rightly said, is slightly different, and they have their personality quirks which you have to navigate through to give them the clients or your pet parents the right answers. And I think that comes out of experience. You've been doing this for 2 years, so you have that X amount of experience. And as I keep saying, please, guys.
Karan, there are a lot of deeper levels to why they're behaving like this.
Absolutely,
it's
and
not
that's
only
like you have to go through those layers to understand
those layers and peel those layers and understand why this is happening.
Yeah. So Vignesh has clarified his question slightly. He said people say cats are a lot more care, not and mean when compared to dogs. They say, I guess what he's trying to say is cats are meaner than dogs is what he's trying to say. Dogs care and respond more to humans. Based on your conversation with cats, is that true? I would like to clarify that, Vignesh, in the 90s, I had 8 cats and they behaved, they loved me, I'll tell you that. And cats had a different kind of a personality. Cats are a different animal. You have to be able to interpret their actions, and dogs have a different personality. Every animal is slightly different, and that's my opinion. Obviously, I'm going to let Riticka give her opinion, but I have had a lot of experience with cats, and I must tell you that I love cats. I don't have a cat right now, but I kind of disagree with that people think that there might be a perception that cats are meaner, but that's not entirely true. Cats are very, very dependent as well, and they're very, very loving. But go ahead, Riticka, what are your opinions on that?
I actually believe what you're saying is totally right. Even I believe in that. Every animal is this, they are all of them are evolved. It's just like everyone has a different personality as we humans are. So maybe he have come across somebody why she or he was like that cat. But we have to know why that cat is behaving like that. Cats are not meaner. I think no animal is meaner. It's just like we project it like that. We feel like that. They are not like that. They are just happy in their own world.
This reminds me of a very it's sad because in 1977 or 79 Steven Spielberg came out with the movie Jaws, and that completely vilified the white shark as a terror human eating machine, that if you get enough in the water, it will kill you. No, the shark is not evil. The shark is not going there to and it's not actively hunting you per se. You're not even in its food chain. The amount of accidents that happen with shark, the amount of people that die by shark bites are minuscule. More people die in accidents, more people die now of coronavirus, unfortunately, than have ever been killed by a white shark. But that movie demonized sharks. And same for snakes. They're demonized. And I find that astounding, that the amount that people kind of think that, oh, if it's a snake, you have to kill it because it's evil. Snakes are dangerous. Yes, you leave it alone, and
they won't kill you just because you are standing there and they're passing by. No.
Yeah,
if you will harm anybody, they will try to protect themselves, but they won't just come and bite you and go away and have a gala time. No. It's a very wrong perception about animals.
Yeah, and that remind again leads me to another question of mine is, what are your biggest learnings from animals? Like you've been doing this for some time now, so what do you have to say about your experiences with animals, different animals?
See, what I've learned from every animal is unconditional love. They give you so unconditionally, like no matter you get annoyed with them, you get you scold them, they will come back to you again. Their love is so unconditional, and this is what we are lacking as human beings. We are very conditional with each other. You give me, I will give you. You won't give me, I won't give you. But with these animals, they are not concerned. You give or not, we are giving you. Unconditional love. Secondly is non-judgmental. We as human beings are so judgmental regarding others, how they talk, how they behave, how they're doing something, and if not others, then ourselves, how we are looking, how we are walking, whatever. These animals, if you see a dog sleeping, he will sleep like this with a paw up and two paws down and on their backside. They are not concerned who's looking at them. Even if they are dirty, they are the same. So these, and one more thing, to be in the present. We are either focusing on our past or the future. These dogs are so evolved. Obviously, I won't say that they don't feel bad, but within 2 minutes they'll get fine, or within a day they'll get fine. Okay, they won't keep sulking like we humans do.
Yes,
but we as humans they have to learn a lot from these animals.
I have to agree. Sometimes, I've been guilty of being bad to Pasha. My wife always gets upset with me if I shout at him because he's barking, or if he's tugging on the leash and I give him a verbal rebuke, or I pull at him, and I shout at him, and he kind of cowers and goes away, and I feel bad about it because he's upset. And then I come back into the room after, let's say, 5 minutes, and he's happy to see me. And if I did that with my wife, she won't talk to me.
And what?
Rightfully so. People, you have to treat your animal with respect. You have to. I treat my. It's a work in progress. Every day it's a lot of work. It's a big responsibility to get a dog or to get any pet. If you get a cat, you get a tortoise, as you said. Every animal is a responsibility. It's our responsibility. It's the person
to take care of them. Yeah.
Food, nutrition, exercise, mental stimulation. These are the things that we are learning with all our experts who come every day. And guys, please remember there's a whole host of different sessions that we have covered on before. Please go ahead and check that out. But an animal is a responsibility and it's dependent on you. You can't just go ahead and abandon a dog. And a lot of people are doing so, especially in light of this current situation.
Yeah, because
we have. Yeah, Riticka, you can speak a little bit about it as well because of from your experiences. But a lot of people have been. I've heard that they're abandoning cats because cats apparently they're saying that could carry or have been contracted the coronavirus, and it's sad because there are ways around it.
That's very sad because even I believe animals they don't carry corona. We humans being that we are the carriers, but animals are not. It's just a fluke. What the people are saying that, and I have even here also I've seen a lot of people doing that. It's very sad. Please don't abandon your animal. They love you unconditionally. Why you want to, why you want to do that injustice to them? It's just like I don't believe in this. Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, how can you abandon your dog? Because the dog is only dependent on you. It doesn't know anything else.
Yeah. And the dog doesn't abandon you if you're having a fever, or if you're not. He still loves you.
I completely agree. My wife is convinced that, I had an accident 2 years ago, and my wife is convinced that her dog, Matli, who's a rescue, he doesn't sit next to me too much, but because I'm always saying, give me space. But, when I had my accident one night, 3 days, I was released from the hospital, and he kept staring at me that night. So much so that she called up the doctor because he never did that. And the doctor said, bring him to me immediately, and then they put me in ICU for 1 week. And this is a true story. If you guys go through my pages, you'll see me sitting in the ICU and wondering, Matli put me here because I didn't want to be there, but my dog made sure that he saved my life. That's what I feel now. And guys, they have this intuition, they have this ability, and that's why we have somebody like Riticka with us right now. This is speaking through my own personal experiences. Mehnaz is asking, and I think you already answered this, but we'll ask this question: do animals hold grudges?
No, I told you they don't. They have no grudges. No, it's we who hold grudges, not the animals.
Yeah,
they are very, very, very. They are very forgiving. They don't even care. I said, no, they will feel bad for a moment and then they'll be fine. So they don't. They're much more evolved. They don't believe in all these things.
I think they simplified their emotions and they're very pure-hearted, is what I feel.
Oh yes, unconditional, no? So.
Unconditional. There is some very interesting memes and sayings that if the dog loves you, then you're a decent person, and if you love a dog, you're a good person. But if a dog loves you, you're a great person. So every time I like to, I keep telling people that if you have a dog that loves you, then you might.
They make you a better human being. What I feel, they make you a much better human being. Yeah.
I completely agree. Sapna Mehra is asking, Riticka, is there any significance when dogs sleep on their backs with all four legs facing up?
Mm-hmm. No significance. It's the way they sleep.
I would like to add a little bit to that, Ritika. In my experience, out of the research I've done, is that a dog is a lot happier when they are, because
they are very comfortable. They're trusting the owner that time. That's why they're sleeping like this, because they have full faith on you that I'm secure.
Because they have their stomach, which is a very vital part of their body, and away from predators. That's why they sleep on their stomach. But if they have their stomach exposed, this is my experience. This has maybe this is out of Ritikka's field, but because it's been proven, if they are sleeping all out, not without a corner, that's why dogs love sleeping in their boxes. If you give them the right kind of training, they would love to sleep in their box, because it takes them back to the old days where before, when they evolved, they used to surround themselves on all sides, and they sleep with their and that's when they used to feel secure. So right now, if they're sleeping with their if they're sleeping their backs, that means they trust you and you've done a decent job, and they feel safe with you. And Muskan Khanna is asking, where can we learn the art of animal communication? You already answered this question, Ritika. So Muskan, I request you to go back, and once this session is again available, you can go ahead and see that. There is a service called Earthwise, a facility.
Earthwise,
run
it's a website with the name Earthwise.
And it's run by one of India's top animal communicators. Go ahead and check that out. We will have her. We will have Manjari live with us soon. We are in talks. She is unfortunately stuck in Portland in America. So so she has to stay awake very late or very early. She has to get up to be able to manage the session with us. But
I'm so happy she'll be here. Meeting a mentor here is like another feeling.
Hopefully we'll have her with us soon. Tell us more about talking with animals, Ritika. I told you that we're going to come back to another question about finding lost dogs. Have you dealt with this? How does one go about doing this?
I dealt with one dog who was a stray dog, and in Mumbai. And he was not taken care of. He used to stay under the building, but people didn't like him. But one of the member of that building was really in love with him. So so he went missing, and they contacted me, and I got to know, when I had a conversation with him, he said that I don't want to come back now. I'm very thankful to the person who really took care of me at that time. But now my karma with that person is finished. And I just want to go away, and I have found a new house. There was a milkman who had taken him away, and he kept him really well. So there are times when dogs or animals, they don't want to come back. Either their karma, as he said, that my karma is finished, or either they are in some adventure, they want to explore the world and come back later, or either they want to come back. So we help we ask the animal, do you want to come back? So whatever the answer comes, then we go about it. So we don't give any guarantee to the owner or the pet parent that they will come back. So because we have to ask them, and if they want to come back, then only we help them. Otherwise, we don't touch them. No.
Okay, interesting. So it also depends on the animal when you're able to make a communicate. That's why Gaurav Goswami is asked that he has lost his dog, which he adopted. Gaurav, if you need more information about it, I suggest you contact Ritikka or somebody of her caliber who will be able to help you out with that information, and maybe something will come out of it. Anjali, my mom, is over here.
Hello, Auntie.
She wants to ask, tell us about some happy ending stories which you have taken part in.
I think I won't say it was a happy ending, but it was an ending. Not in a lost found case, but I remember there was a dog who had some kidney problem, and when the owner contacted me, he was really ill, and I had a conversation with him, and he said that I'm here only for 2 days. I'm about to leave. So I told the owner that he only has 2 days left. And they were like, because he was really suffering. And they said, should we put him down? Right? So I said, let me ask him, because we cannot take any decision without asking animal. So I asked him, he said, he was like very adamant, no, I will go on my own. I told them, but they were really confused and they wanted, because obviously as a pet parent, it's very difficult for you to see your dog suffering or your animal suffering.
Absolutely.
And it's not easy. So they kept, the next day they went to the doctor, got him drip done and everything, and he was a little fine that time. So this one, she called me up and she said, you know what, you were saying he only has 2 days, but he's fine.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't mind being wrong if he's fine. Yeah. For me, my purpose is that he should be okay in either way. Okay. So but I got curious. I said, you gave me information. I'm very happy if you're alive. But why did you give her information that you are just leaving your physical body in another 2 days?
Yeah.
So he said, no, I am still not well. It's just like I'm not showing them, because they will suffer more. And I don't want my parents to suffer more. And it's just like the owner is not mentally prepared. So I'm also stuck. I don't want her to. So I said, should I tell your owner this is the reason? He said, no, I don't want. I said, okay, fine. I was like completely fine. The next day she called me up and she said, he's really in a bad phase and, what should I do? Yeah. I said, just tell him that I'm ready if you go. I let you go. Don't feel that I'll be sad. You have to prepare that for him, that he can leave easily. And the day she did it, in the evening, I got a message that he left. So it was not a happy ending, I will say, but then it was an ending which, happened. Yes. We have to deal with it. Yeah. So we as animal communicators have to pass on that message if we get it.
Yes, I completely agree, and I think that's a little sadder than we want.
Yeah. I have not got such happy ending something, but yes, a sad ending definitely.
Mehnaz has asked a couple of more questions. Thanks for your constant question, Mehnaz. We're happy that we can entertain these questions and we have you with us. Do animals come for a purpose in our life?
They do. We have, like humans, we have soul contracts with human. Same, we have soul contracts with animals. They come to teach us something. They do.
Okay.
It's up to us to learn what they are trying to portray.
Yes, I mean, I have to agree that I don't know if they, I mean, when I got Pasha, I had a German Shepherd Cola that I had till 1992, 93. And then I was so heartbroken that when he passed away, that I said, I won't keep another dog. Exactly 20 years later is when I got Pasha at 2012. And I'm so much, I'm so lucky to have him because, he's changed so many different outlooks in my life. And I'm very happy about it. And I think that's something that most of our viewers share that opinion about their own dogs and their pets and cats and what have you. Mehnaz, I think there's a purpose, but I think we are lucky to have our pets with us. And I think you would agree too. Mehnaz is also asking, like in terms of the process, when you communicate, how long does it take you to start a connection, for them to reply to you? And
nothing, just ground yourself, just be there, just be in the present moment, cool down, just don't think too much and just go about it like this, like we are having a conversation. It's just like that. Hi, hello, how are you doing? And then we start off.
And Mosam is asking, we already answered this question, I know the answer, like how do you communicate and how do you understand?
See, as I told you, there are a lot of things. We all have senses. So whatever the images we get, whatever they are sending us, we get an image, or somebody will hear it, somebody will get a visual, somebody will get a thought. And what we need to trust ourselves. And at times, if we don't trust ourselves, we have to ask the animal: is it me or is it you? Is it my mind who's portraying it? And then just like this, we get the answer. Yeah. So it's that simple.
So there is a reason that you have taken a course, because Manjari has been able to help you work on yourself, and you're able to hone these skills, so be able to be in a better position to talk with that particular animal. So it takes a little bit of practice, I'm sure. It's not easy. But after a little bit of practice, you're able to do it. And to answer your question, Mosam, most people can do it. Everyone can do it. It's just that
Everyone can do it.
you have to
It's
focus,
like
and you have to be in the right frame of mind, as we have alluded
yeah, and you have to
before.
believe your telepathic skills. You know, you have to
Um,
believe in that.
do you talk to your pet often?
Oh, I do, and he gives a lot of advices. He
He does.
does.
Huh? He
He
does.
does.
How old is
Lot
your?
of wisdom. Lot of wisdom.
How old is
Five
Magic?
5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
A very
And
evolved child.
yeah, they are. I mean, I think the more you understand the nuances of your particular pet, especially a dog or a cat, the more you understand they are not as simple as you try to make them out to be. They understand a lot of different things,
He's
especially.
really pushed me, Karan. He's really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Trust me. I
So,
was not,
can you talk about that?
yeah.
What is the comfort zone? What did Magic help you
See,
do?
I was very happy being a baker. I
Yeah.
was not very ambitious in that way. I thought I'll be a
Okay.
baker and that's it. So I will tell how he mirrored me actually. He used to
Yeah.
really keep unwell. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
when I did my basic, I was not very fully aware of the talent I had. So,
Yeah.
and I was not trusting myself. So he had once, I still remember, he had some skin allergy. Okay.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
contacted Manjari.
Uh-huh.
So I said, please have a conversation with him because he's really not keeping well. So then I still remember Manjari told me, why you need me? You have done your basic, have a conversation with him yourself. So I
Yeah.
said, with him, because I'm very emotional regarding him. I want to
Yeah.
hear and listen what I want to hear. So it's a little difficult for me to have a conversation with him. So she said, okay, let's have a conversation with him together. And he told that, Ritika is a very loving soul, what he said, okay? And she's
Uh-huh.
very talented. And which
Yeah.
she has a lot of potential which he is not recognizing. I am
Okay.
very proud of her, but then she needs to explore that thing in her, which she has it, but she's not recognizing it. So I now want people to be very proud of her. And I still remember as a baker, okay, I was doing all that, but there was something missing. There was a calling for me. And
Yeah.
after that, and he said, I am not, this is not my irritation. This is her irritation, which I am mirroring. Because she has this irritation inside that I need to do something which I'm not doing. And there's some calling which I'm not following. And
Okay.
after I started following, after the guidance I got from him, I started following the path. And touch wood, after that, he's keeping fine. I did my numerology, I did my animal communication. Now I'm doing it professionally, which I never thought I would. So that is
Ah,
how he's taken me to that path.
yeah, it's interesting. So that's rightfully so. Then he's really helped you achieve these
Yes,
different goals, and he's been a
yes.
part of it in your life. So that's fantastic. Shruti, who you've helped out in the past, has asked, does a pet communicate with you on his own, or do they actually reach out to you? Have you communicated with a pet after a few days, and after you started the communication?
Yes, I have. Like there have been cases when I got back to the owner to know what changes they did in their life and has it changed what he guided them to do. So yes, they have been helped in that way, and
Uh-huh.
things have changed for them. I still remember there was, as I told you, there was a dog named Buddhu,
Yes.
and yeah. So
Yes.
as Shakespeare says, there's what's in the name. As a numerologist and as an animal communicator, I say there's a lot in the name.
Uh-huh.
There are times when these animals don't like their names. And the moment I had a connection with him, he was not doing too great. So the owner contacted me and he said, "Can you have a conversation with him?" Because he was staying in the office, the
Hmm.
factory. Okay. So I
Yeah.
had a conversation. He said, the first thing he told me, he said, please tell my owner to change my name. I am not Buddhu. I'm not dumb. Hello.
Hi, hi, Ritika.
Hi, so sorry. I think we lost the connection.
I had a power outage, guys. I apologize. I hope we haven't lost too much. We are back again. Apologies for that. What can you
Yeah.
do? Power
So
outage in summer. It's about
this is what we do when we are doing live sessions. So
yes, yeah. I'm back now. So
we have
apologies
to
for
cope
that,
up with
guys.
that. Yes.
Yeah. Coming back to some of your questions, I think
So yeah,
we have a lot of people asking questions. Radhika wants to know. Even I want to talk to my pet, though we understand each other a little bit. Wants to communicate with him properly. From where can I learn? This is going to be a constant question, Ritika. Maybe they can contact you directly. It's
I think we put
Uberoi.
it there on the chat.
No, it's right there,
Yeah.
Radhika, guys. And Mehnaz
Yeah,
is
I think
asking, what are your course fees? Uh,
the course fees.
yes.
I I am taking it. I am not taking a course. I think Manjari takes the
Yes.
course. I don't teach.
Maybe what
So
we
you
are
please
trying to ask you,
contact
yeah,
her for that.
absolutely. Fair enough, Ritika. That guys, we have to. Earthwise is the name of that thing. We're gonna have Manjari with us soon. Can you? But coming back to for the people who are just joining us, what are your fees for conducting a session?
I think, as I told you, yeah, it's like 1,000 rupees for 6 questions. I think,
1,000 rupees
yeah.
for six
And
questions.
lost found cases are 1,500. Yeah,
And 1,500 rupees for a lost case, and there is
for the
no
lost
guarantee of
case. Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you are going to definitely
No.
provide, but you will give certain insights about the dog or
Right.
that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think Mehnaz is asking a lot of questions about the workshop. Mehnaz, please, as Ritika has rightly said, Ritika is not the one who is conducting courses at the moment. She may do so. She may do so depending
Hopefully
on
one
how.
day.
And I think that makes sense. But we will that's for the future. Right now, there is another person who's doing that. We'll tell you to. We have already answered that. Please go ahead and contact Earthwise directly uh, um, for that query. Revite Sitaram is asking, how did Buddhu know his name was dumb? I mean, he can.
Oh, they know a lot of it's they as I told you, they are much more evolved. They are so aware of things around. Okay, so he didn't
Yes.
like the name. So he said, please tell that. And I asked him, I said, please you tell me what name you like. So he said, tell them to keep my name Roxy. I still remember. He told me that, and I
Rocky.
conveyed that. And
Yeah.
Roxy, some rock star
Roxy.
name he wanted. So
Yeah.
Roxy.
I
So
would like
I
to.
conveyed that.
Yeah, I would like to show you what Pasha did. Pasha got up like that and he looked outside the window. He said, "Who's this Roxy? He's looking outside right now. I can't show you guys. It'll be funny, but it was. I found it really funny. As soon as you said Rocky, he just picked up and looked outside.
He must be remembering somebody whom he knows by that name, maybe.
Pasha, you remember Roxy? He's now giving.
Or maybe he likes that name. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he guided. He told me that there was to be very. He actually gave a warning regarding their, I think, office member that he was not doing his work fine. And when I contacted them, he said, "Yeah, we got a mail from somebody regarding him." So they give you all those warnings. So they're so much evolved. It's not about that they don't know anything. They know a lot of things about themselves.
I completely agree. I think, Ritika, we've gone on over an hour right now. We have to take your leave. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
your
you so
time.
much for inviting me here, and I think I could do justice to whatever
I think you did a
people
great
ask.
job. You have come very highly recommended. You have gone to some of the best places for your course, and you helped out a friend of mine, and she's very happy to have
I'm glad
recommended.
I could.
Before
Yeah.
you, that friend of mine has asked another question. Shruti asked, do dogs see the spirits of departed souls? Can they communicate with them? That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. So go ahead with that question.
Yes, they can. They can. They can see people. They can see much more what we can see. So they can see spirits. and they can communicate with them. That's why, a lot of people come to me and say that can he talk to their dad? But we don't encourage all that. We don't want to go there.
There are a lot of criticism, a lot of controversies with this subject. So, guys, they've already answered that question before, as Mira has asked. So, please go ahead, and if you guys are just joining us, go ahead and see this session again once we broadcast this again on our different social media platforms. Riticka, thank you so much for taking the time and being with us.
Thank you so much, Karan.
Guys, for all our audience members, Riticka can be contacted at the email that is in front of you right now. Reach out to her. She's more than happy to help you out right now, and something will come on with our animals. Thank you so much.
Hopefully. Thank you so much, Karan. I just want to thank you, DogSpot, also for inviting me here. Thank you.
We're very happy to have you. And guys, please, thank you for signing in and looking at us, looking at this session. Hope to catch you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.